NBA Fantasy, Week 11 Waiver Wire Ads. RotoWire highlights the top waiver wire targets for Week 11 of fantasy action. We are only about 1 month away from the NBA trade deadline. As we start to see more players change teams, there are also some moves for fantasy managers to make on the waiver wire. Here are some players to consider adding who are still available in the majority of Yahoo leagues. Shaedon Sharpe, Portland Trail Blazers, 56% available. After injuries limited Sharpe to just 32 games last season, he has already played 25 games this season. His three-point shooting hasn't been great, making just 28.8% of his attempts from behind the arc. However, he has improved his overall efficiency. He shot 40.6% from the field last season but is shooting 45.1% this season. Sharpe doesn't provide much in the way of rebounds, assists, or defensive stats. That does limit his overall fantasy value. However, with his improved efficiency, he's averaging 17.9 points and 1.8 three-pointers per game and can provide a boost for fantasy managers who need scoring. If the Trailblazers trade away a veteran or two at the deadline, Sharpe could receive even more shot attempts down the stretch. Jordan Clarkson, Utah Jazz, 60% available. It's showcase time in Utah. The Jazz are 7-25, which is tied for the third worst record in the NBA. They only have 2 more wins than the Pelicans, who have the worst record. As the Jazz continue to look toward the future in an attempt to land a high pick in the 2025 draft, they will likely be aggressive in trying to trade away some of their veterans at the deadline. One veteran on their team who might be the most likely to be moved in Clarkson. He is making just over $14 million this season and is signed for next season at $14.3 million. That's a reasonable contract for one of the best bench scorers in the league. As the team looks to build his trade value, Clarkson has logged an average of 28 minutes over his last 8 games. During that span, Clarkson averaged 19.4 points, 3.0 rebounds, 4.1 assists and 2.4 three-pointers. Ride his heater now while you still can. Even when Clarkson is traded, he could take on a leading scoring role off the bench for his new squad. Malik Beasley, Detroit Pistons, 65% available. Jaden Ivey might not play again this season after suffering a broken fibula Wednesday against the Magic. He has been one of the team's leading contributors, averaging 17.6 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 4.0 assists over 30 minutes per game. He has also been mostly healthy, appearing in 30 games this season. Beasley has already been productive in the scoring department, averaging 16.2 points and 3.8 three-pointers per game. That is despite him logging 2 fewer minutes per game than last season with the Bucks. With Ivey out, there is a path for Beasley to log 30 minutes on a nightly basis. He has already been a great source for three-pointers, so any additional playing time would only further enhance his value. Scottie Pippen Jr., Memphis Grizzlies, 70% available. It has been another injury-riddled season for the Grizzlies, who have managed to fight through them to currently occupy the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. They are playing without Ja Morant, shoulder, again, who is being considered as week-to-week. Morant has appeared in only 20 games this season. Not only is he out, but Marcus Smart, finger, will be out for at least another week, if not longer. With the Grizzlies so thin at guard, Pippen Jr. will be forced into an expanded role. Across the 13 games that he has started this season, Pippen Jr. has averaged 13.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.4 steals and 1.2 three-pointers. Until Morant and Smart are back on the floor, Pippen Jr. should be rostered in more leagues. Spencer Dinwiddie, Dallas Mavericks, 74% available. The Mavericks are currently playing without Luka Doncic, calf, who could be out until February. Not only is he one of the best players in the league, but he was logging 36 minutes per game. That leaves a lot of playing time and shot attempts up for grabs. Dinwiddie is averaging 23 minutes per game for the season, but he has averaged 29 minutes over the 4 games since Doncic went down. He parlayed his added minutes into averages of 17.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists and 2.0 three-pointers during that span. The downside with Dinwiddie is that he is not very efficient. He shot 39.2% from the field last season and is shooting 38.3% this season. For those who can take the hit in that department, Dinwiddie can provide enough production in other categories to be worth adding. Quentin Grimes, Dallas Mavericks, 84% available. Grimes only averaged 12 minutes over the first 9 games of the season for the Mavericks. He has played more since then, averaging 26 minutes over his last 23 games. Since Doncic went down, Grimes has logged an average of 30 minutes over the last 4 games. Over those 4 games, Grimes averaged 12.8 points, 5.8 rebounds, 2.5 assists and 2.5 three-pointers. After shooting at least 38.1% from behind the arc during his first 2 seasons in the league, Grimes only shot 33.8% from deep last year. He has remedied that this season by shooting 41.4% on his 3-point attempts. That has helped him shoot 46.7% from the field, overall. With all of the available minutes and shot attempts because of Doncic being out, Grimes should have a large enough role to be worth considering in deeper formats.